to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery. Today we're doing the War Machine by K.H. There's Lola by K.H.H. out of Khhi House, designed by Donnie. Now, before we get to that, 22 veterans a day in this country take their own lives. It's a number that we talk about every video. We have to. We're going to. Vets, two things. I love you, and you have a place here. Now, we back to blue over here. We support Leo. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. Okay, today we're doing the War Machine by the Khhi House, designed by Donnie. We all know this. Let me say this real quick. I want to thank Dbad because these are all, the knives he sent me to test are prototypes. Okay? That takes a lot of trust, especially whenever I lost one. Not one of these, the other one. To do. So Dbad, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. You probably should have told me that before I slammed up and down on one with an oak limb. But having said that, it is what it is. These are prototypes, and I do want to thank Dbad for sending them. Now, he sent them to me clean and oiled up and relatively sharp. They will go back to him clean and oiled up and relatively sharp. There are a couple things, the hackberry, there are a couple of those older pieces of oak that will kind of stain a blade. So before I send these back, I think I'm going to do a video probably on Tuesday, cleaning the blade, you know, getting all that crap off of there and going. Now, we don't want to burn a lot of time in here, but I want to show y'all something. For a lot of knife designers, the handle is an afterthought. It's secondary. It's, you know, or they just screw it up really, really bad. The one thing I have to say about Dbad's designs, he takes time in the handle. Handle is primary to him. It's key to him. And I want to show you these. Now, each of the knives that I have from Donnie, the Preacher, the War Machine, the Little Big Man, and of course, the Gator Tail. Now, somebody says, "Gab, why don't you give a Gator Tail away for $200? Well, why don't you send me the money and I'll be glad to. Now, I really may. I think Garen suggested that, and brother, that put a thought in my head. I may do that for the 2000 giveaway. Every 500 subscribers, I give away a Dbad product. So that actually may be a pretty good idea, and I'm just being smart on the other, forgive me. But back to the handles. I want to show y'all something. Now, the first thing everybody does when they review this is go whip out a K-bar. I'm not doing that. There's no need to do that. This is not a K-bar. It's not a K-bar clone. This is the War Machine. Let me show you something though. Right here, when you grip it, and I do want to take a few minutes on this handle because it is important. These are rosewood. I love rosewood handles, okay? So when I grip this, when I lock in, now watch. And I've got Beard Balm from Backyard Knife Dude, the Viking Revolution stuff, looking really good, looking tight. But I've got that all over my hands, and still, when I do that, and that's not an act, I'll go left-handed. About to cut the shit out of myself right there. It don't move. What does that tell us? It tells us that we have comfort in hand, I have security in hand. When I'm working with it, it ain't coming out. Now, this particular design does not have a lanyard hole. You know why? You don't need a damn lanyard. What's not going to happen today, if my hands get sweaty during this testing, and they will, I'm going to wipe them off or go to a glove. I want everybody to understand, a lot of times reviewers get mad if somebody makes a suggestion about gloves or safety equipment or PPE. I don't get mad at it. You know, and a lot of guys, well, I don't need it. Yeah, pretty good idea. Richard has given me a pair of gloves, I think had a booger right there, I'm sorry. Had to send a couple pair to the shredder. So I may don those, but I do want to do a little testing, just bare-handing it, you know, that's the way I normally do, to give you guys a real deal feel. Now, if my hands get wet, they're going to, I'll go to a glove or wipe them off. That's my promise to you. That was just real close the other day, and that was my fault. That's arrogance, that's pride, that's getting tired, that's ready to wrap it up, and I should have took a minute. Safety has to be paramount. We talked about it the other day on Blade Talk, and it needs to be mentioned all the time. Safety in doing this stuff is paramount. I watched the shredder. Joe, Steel Forge and Fire Sword and Knife, and the shredder have standing shout outs on the channel. I watched the shredders video this morning. Jonathan and Zeke were out there, the shredder were out there, and safety with them, you can tell, Jonathan, safety is paramount. Guys, if safety is paramount for a father and an 11-year-old, it needs to be paramount for us, so I want to try to do the right thing. Now, instead of going to the kitchen and doing all that, let me show y'all something. We'll do our paper test. I simply honed this blade up and stropped it. I don't ever try to reprofile or mess with somebody's blade. Look at that. Try to get one more. So we've got a good sharp edge. I tore that one. That was my bad. My fault on that. We've got a good sharp edge, 1/4 inch thick. Now when we get into the actual cutting and I do my wonderful narration, I'll give you all the dimensions. Right there. Just did some stropping, like I said, quick hone. Got it where I want it. The War Machine by the Khhi House, designers Dbad. Meet me at the Stump, won't you? Well, thank you, Scab. That was a mighty fine introduction, even though you did get a little long-winded. Now, we got an 8-inch blade, a 5.5-inch handle, 52-100 steel, 7 millimeters thick, a good clip point. We've got 2 deep fullers on this thing. And the guards, let me say this, guys, the guards, a lot of time I'm not a big guard fan. You barely know they're there. Tremendous job there. The guards are there because this is a fighting knife. Now, what we're going to do with it, since there's nobody there, Scab's pants undone. There you go, son. Attaboy. I am not reshooting this. Just nobody look at the nether regions. Well, that's better. Now, I'm not reshooting it, guys, because it took me 2 damn hours to get what I got. Let me say this about the clip point. I think this is probably one of the deepest penetrating knives that I've used. Every time it went in, it slammed in, it got good bites. It did all kind of work right here. The Donnie B all day drop test, the Donnie B all day throw it at the stump test, and we do the Donnie B all day stab test. And this knife held up tremendously. Tremendously. Now y'all can see I dressed for the occasion. I apologize for that. I just really wanted to get this video in there. Now, on the weight front, we're at about 292. So we started right at 345. We're at 292. And we're having some success still. It slowed down a little bit, but I appreciate all the support you guys have given me. I love y'all very much for that. Now, here's the Donnie B all day stab test. Great penetration. Now guys, this is just a bunch of cardboard stacked up together and duct taped. And it's time to get a new one. I'll be the first to tell you that. Try some different areas there. This is just some thick stuff, man. Now, I did this test where you throw it just to get a little more acceleration. Really, really good penetration here. This knife, I said machine, it is a machine. It's the War Machine. And I'll go back to it again. There's no need to pull out a K-bar because they don't compare. And I love K-bar. I have the K-bar fighting knife, the Marine fighting knife. I have 2 BK2s. I have, Dale King got me 2 of the, Karambit style K-bars. And I've got a Big Brother. I love K-bar. But this isn't a comparison because this is just a heavy duty beast. It's a Khhi House special, Donnie B all day design. Great, great knife. Now, here's where old Scab's super duper intelligence comes in. Guys, I wasn't in the Boy Scouts. In case anybody hadn't noticed that, I was not a Boy Scout, and Paracord unwrapping it just really beats my ass. I get mad here in a minute and just cut it, so I probably ruined 50 feet of Paracord, and I do not, and I can't stress this enough, do not give a shit. I'm just going to use it for cutting and making a few lanyards. So it is what it is. And of course I had to show it because, you know, we needed some comedic value, I guess. I don't know what the hell I was doing. Now. This is going to be a 2-part video. This part was all at the stump, all out in the front yard. Part 2 will probably be Sunday afternoon in the woods. I've also got to do a part 2 of the Winkler field knife. I have not forgot it. And JR, as soon as I'm done with part 2, buddy, I'll get it back to you. I apologize for the delay. But that's what I was saying last night, guys. I'm just not thrilled where I'm at right now in the channel. I am thrilled with this knife. Now, I want y'all to look at the little curly cues that we got here. Now, again, this knife I honed it and I stropped it. I did not sharpen this knife. So you can see the really good bites it's getting good feather sticking. Why would I do bushcrafting with this knife? Well, first and foremost, because none of y'all are going to take it and fight an enemy with it. Secondly, that would be an assault charge on my part if I tried to fight somebody with it. And thirdly, I'm probably still too fat to win a knife fight, so we're just going to do some camping stuff with it. Yeah, that's what bushcrafting is, just for all y'all purists and naturalists out there, it's camping. So there you go. Somebody says, Gab, you seem a little down. Well, I ain't down. I'm not down. I'm getting irritated, but I'm not down. I hope Gab don't get down. I've been down. This ain't down. See the hammer there on the back of the arm? Now, intelligence prevailed here. We waited a second. There we go. Because I didn't want y'all to see me battle with that rope. Now, back to the war machine. Now, I want y'all to understand something. I just jabbed it in there. I'm not holding a knife. This is that old nylon rope, kind of a ski rope. Look at that. Man, this thing had no problems. I love this knife. And I'm going to be honest with you. I wore it on my belt. I like doing that to get the feel of the knife. And guys, I'm telling you, you could barely tell it was there. It rides well on the hip. It's a beautiful leather sheath. Rosewood handles. Again, this thing is 7 millimeters thick. Here's the deal, though. And this is what I want to stress in these last 5.5 minutes. Good Lord, we did some cutting. So what I want to stress, guys, anybody can take a knife and go, yep, I'm going to make it longer and I'm going to make it bigger. That ain't shit. That's easy. I can do that. But it takes a keen eye to design a knife to where you barely feel it. This is a well-balanced, well-tuned knife. That takes skill. That handle was skillfully designed. This is a tremendous knife. Now, inevitably, there are comparisons because, you know, guys, I'm like y'all. I'm on a budget. I'm right there with y'all. And the kindness of you guys, the kindness of my subscribers to send me knives, dude, y'all, Megan can tell you, I stay teared up. I'm like a little baby. But the thing, my point is this: if I hit lottery, son, I'd probably own the Khhi house, and I'd have every Dbad creation made. But I don't, and I'm on a budget. Now, having said that, I don't know that there's a Dbad creation over $200. I would have to look. This knife right here, I believe they've got it on their site for $115. It'd probably cost you $150 to the door. And I promise y'all, this is a $250 or $300 knife all day long. Well, Scab, you saying that because that's your buddy? No. If I didn't like Donnie, I'd still love this knife. And there are times I don't like Donnie. I'm kidding. I love Donnie, especially since he's coming to Florida and hopefully bringing me a birthday present early. But that's not the deal. It doesn't matter who made this knife. This is a tremendous knife. I just want to make sure that everybody understands. Look, now here I was getting a little fatigued, getting a little tired. It's hot as balls out there. We're about 100% humidity. There's no slippage. Ever present in my mind, guys, was me throwing that knife at my leg. At no time did I feel like my grip was slipping. Did I feel like I was in trouble of losing the knife like I did the other day and just being bullheaded? No. This knife held up. I want, you say, Scab, this whole video has been about handles, and it should be. It should be. It's too many people, too many knife companies, too many designers make handles secondary. And I feel like that's a massive, massive mistake. Yes, the blade should be, everything on a knife should be equal. Everything on a knife should be well designed. There shouldn't be any shortcuts taken. There's no such thing as overbuilt, in my opinion. What does my opinion matter? It don't, except to the people who value it. And guys, in my opinion, this is not an overbuilt knife. It is a well-built knife. Now, here we go. I want to show y'all a couple more things before we wrap it up. And again, I want to take this time. We're going to do a little batoning. testing the edge. No dings, no dunks, no dips in the edge, none at all. It held up very, very well. I was very, very proud of this edge. No rolls, no nothing. Now, I want to take this time again. My guy Joe, Steel Forged and Fire, has a huge interview coming up with Walter Sorrells. I'm hoping it gets released in the next day or so. If it does, guys, get over there, light it up. He's got another big interview with Matthew Jensen next Saturday. That is another huge, huge thing and can really do well for Joe's channel. And we in this community, in the knife community, need to support that. Okay? It's going to be two sword guys. One's an American Icon steel or sword smith, American swordsmith. We need to support that. And the other guy is an up-and-coming YouTube guy who tests swords and does a phenomenal job at it. Really impressed with his stuff. We need to get behind Joe. It can help Joe out. Now, having said all that, at 2,000 subs, thank you, Scab. Appreciate you looking at that. At 2,000 subs, I'm giving away that katana, and I'm giving away either a preacher or a gator tail, like I mentioned earlier. Now, right here, we're going to do some light shaving to take this thing out. I want to show you. We've chopped, we've bashed, we've crashed, and now at the end, it's still slicing. Now here's what part 2 is going to be. Part 2 is just going to be in the woods. I've got a couple things. That tree we felled the other day, I've got to get out there and process it for Fort Scab Tongaroga. We'll do some chopping. We'll do some stuff out there. I just want to show y'all some wood stuff. I like the different scenery. I like the different views. And that is my therapy. Well, guys, listen. Do I recommend this knife? Well, does a bear shit in the woods? I mean, this is a no-brainer. Can you use it for self-defense? Unless you're an idiot, yes. So, like my guy Mikey always says, and he says it all the time, and Mikey I love, never give up, never surrender, and everything will be okay. And Mikey's true. Well, guys, I love y'all. God bless y'all. I'm Scab. You're not. And I'm gone, son.